Moxie Gaming, and today I'll be talking a bit about the past beta weekend for Anthem and Anno 1800. Anno 1800 is a city-building RTS developed by Blue Byte and published by Ubisoft. Set on the onset of the Industrial Revolution, gamers will be able to play a campaign mode, multiplayer and a sandbox mode, while building up their cities and taking care of pollution and worker strikes. Anno 1800 is set to be released on the 16th of April. Anthem is an online multiplayer action game developed by BioWare and published by EA. Its release date is set to the 22nd of February. In Anthem, players will be wearing an exosuit called a Javelin. There are 3 types of Javelins: the Ranger, the Colossus and the Storm. All 3 of these will allow the player to fly around like Iron Man. Let's start talking about Anthem, which will be the shorter bit of the 2. Problems started almost immediately after downloading and installing the game. During the first startup, it completely crashed my computer, forcing me to do a full hard reset. Problems like these continued during the entire weekend, and I was only able to play the game for about 25 minutes, during which I was only able to play the first mission. Other issues included the fact that I could not choose my monitor which I wanted to view the game on. It was stuck on secondary monitor and I had to change the settings in Windows to be able to play on my main monitor. Same with resolution. I was stuck at playing at 1080 on a 1440p monitor. Add that to the frequent crashes to desktop and hard locks of my computer made it difficult to enjoy the game. Going on to the graphics, it turned out to be a kind of a mixed bag. While I can praise the detail-rich environment and the great use of elevation and valleys in set environments, put a good strain on my graphics card, which forced me to drop the settings to low or medium to have a consistent frame rate. Even then the frame rate would drop to the low 40s or high 30s on the more eventful scenes or fights. After all of the Mass Effect games, BioWare has third-person shooting very well done, and the shooting mechanics felt great, with interesting weapons and abilities. Though I hope at later levels more varied and diverse abilities will become available to the various javelins. The flight controls itself could also use a bit of work, as they felt very sluggish and unresponsive, causing me frequently to crash into the walls and floors. As my game time with the game was very limited, I cannot give any recommendation based on the gameplay, but considering the vast amount of crashes and technical glitches, I would strongly recommend waiting until the release day reviews before making a decision about buying the game. And now let's talk a bit about Anno 1800. Anno 1800 is the 7th game in a 2-decade-old series. The original Anno 1602 was launched in 1998, which was the year when I turned 10 years old. But I was able to play it with the help of my older brother and sister, and I even managed to get it installed on my school computers. As with all Anno games, you build up your city and manage production lines of increasing complexity as your citizens level up to a more demanding type. While the basic farmers will be happy with woolen smocks and schnapps and a bar, workers will require soap, bread, beer and many other items, and artisans even more. With the increasing complexity of the industry, pollution will pop up as you will burn coal to melt iron into steel and steel into beams or weapons. This pollution will have an effect on the attractiveness on your city, and you may have to move some of the more heavy industry off your main island to neighboring islands to offset this. As with all beta tests, there were some technical issues. The game would frequently crash on startup, but nowhere near as much as Anthem, and I was always able to enter the game after 1 or 2 tries. Also, changing resolution or changing the display mode from full screen to windowed would also result in a crash. But since the release date is in April, I have full confidence that Blue Byte will be able to rectify these small issues. Graphics wise, the game ran just fine on my GTX 1060, and there is a noticeable increase in detail from Anno 2205. And I spent a long time staring at the various buildings to see the small animations that are accompanying them. Gameplay wise, the game sucked me back in, and several times over the weekend I was stuck wondering where several hours of my time went to. And I must say that the blueprint mode is a useful addition to planning out your cities in advance. Even though sometimes I forgot I placed the structure in blueprint and then wondering why I wasn't producing set items. As for a recommendation, if you're an Anno fan, then definitely buy it. You will enjoy it. If this will be your first Anno game, there will be an open beta between the 12th and 14th of April, just before the release. Though, as with all games, waiting till the release day reviews is always a good idea. And for last, thank you all for listening. This was my very first YouTube video which I made. It took quite a while longer to edit than I thought it would, so all of this information is a bit late, but I still hope you enjoyed it. This is Moxie Gaming, signing off.